Good evening and welcome to tonight's NGS cast. We are once again in the Nexus division as we have Phoenix Rising Ruby versus the team of Running Wild. I am your host, Bus, and we shall just keep it on the screen for a little second as we should see probably what map's banned and what has been picked. We did see Phoenix Rising Ruby did ban out both the Braxis holdout and Dragonshire, while Running Wild opted for banning Infernal Shrines and Battlefield of Eternity, and that led us to the map of Towers of Doom. As I say always in series that I don't know, that I've casting replays of, well, I don't know who map picks or first picks, because I do not try to spoil myself into series. If I go looking for that data, I unfortunately will end up finding out who wins before I even see the games, and I do like keeping it a surprise, at least for myself. It's much more fun this way. Anyway, I don't actually have to stall for too much longer as I have the game loaded up, so we shall transition over there, and let's get this show on the road. If I push the buttons right. There we go.
Prepare yourself.
Right, on the left-hand side of Phoenix Rising Ruby. Oh, is the Diva thing happening? No, there is no Diva. On Phoenix Rising Ruby, we have H2O on the Diablo Tlems on the Urel, Danelaw on the Stukov, Michaels on Greymane, and Jasolo on the Tigers. Okay, a lot of auto attack there. Nope.
10 seconds.
Names are hard. C10 ver HD1 on the Cassia. I'm going to call him Cassia. Elixir on Sonya. Full on Grits on Joanna, Kairu on the Raynor, and Mr. Executive on the Brightwing. We're getting a little bit of good luck, have fun. So I'm going to quickly check something while we're getting this beginning posturing out and about. We do see these waves being slowly traded as per happens. Usually just try to get that rotational advantage. We do see Urel has already gone top to give it split soak happening because she kind of can't afford to get interrupted, and at least her jumps, that is her main wave quit. And well, Elixir on that Sonya does have a decent stun with their chain. Right, I am going to tab back over here so I can follow this better, and I will actually pull up level 1s as we do see the reactive blister spores still picked from the Stukov, and actually Joanna gets flipped and charged into a wall. However, we see that Diablo is taking more of their health in damage. Yike. We should actually see that there's decent scaling on the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby, as we do have still very actually strong auto attackers. Kara didn't opt for that, give him the Pepper at level 1 instead of going Ace in the hole, so just a more consistent talent. Cassia is running out at full speed, very low. Gets the kill actually. Is able to get 2 here, gets 2 on less than 100 health. Less than 200 health, very brave of him. I certainly wouldn't have done that, but it paid off in the end as we see a 2-for-1 under the towers of Running Wild. Sorry. As always, for the first game, I will just forget what names are. I will mix them up. I will call you guys the blue team or red team or the allied team or the enemy team, because boy howdy, my brain is small at tonight. Anyway, the only questing talent we do see at 1 was the Thunderstroke from Cassia. Joanna stepping up, already on half health. I can't really afford to step back into this. Excellent slow by the Stukov, however, there is nothing to follow up. Meanwhile, I should mention out for anyone who just is joining that doesn't usually watch any Heroes of the Storm, offlaners are just going to be double soaking for a while. That's the offlane of this map. You're probably not going to see them for a while. Excellent bind from Cassia, getting up there, just bits of damage over time, getting that Thunderstroke further and further up. The further up they get it, the stronger that will be. And that should be very good into late game. Mr. Executive does get a cleanse off. We did hear actually ding on someone. And Danelaw goes down once again. That is very bad timing. Oh, it could be worse timing for the Stukov to go down. However, that means we do have to see the ally team, the blue team, their allies of Phoenix Rising Ruby, back out for the moment, as Stukov is only just coming off. Well, dying now. He's only just respawned. And that means we do see a very... This will probably not be able to contest it until a bit later, depending when the Stukov gets back. It should be interesting to see if they could stall this out. However, it looks like it will just be bottom ulti getting given up, and the top 2 being traded out by the offlaners as per usual. And that is actually the Joanna going down. So sorry, I briefly looked away for a moment, and oh boy, it happened. We're just getting some general wave clear here again, just trying to keep that back pressure on. We do see that Cassia is currently covering for Sonya. So Sonya is having to deal with a little bit of that pressure from the... Not Cassia, from the Yrel. Sorry, Yrel is not a very often seen hero, so I'm beginning a bit going, oh my gosh, this is Yrel, and just like going, this is astonishing. Oh, I've pushed buttons. Whoops. We do have a gank being set up here by both H2O and Danalaw. And now that the damage has joined, full-on Grizz may have actually seen them there. And yep, scouts the bush perfectly. That gank is now over. The at least trap, the ambush is now over, I should say. Excellent slow by the Stukov. Full-on Gritz taking a little bit of damage from the Tychus. I'm very interested seeing how this goes, as there is actually a lot of, albeit it's very high sustained damage, it's a lot of sustained auto-attack damage on the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby. Sure, we do actually see that Diablo is a very good tank for locking people down for a while, but I'm just wondering whether it will be enough burst almost to actually deal with this enemy team, especially with something such as Brightwing, who can pull off a phase shift at any, well, almost any given moment, provided it's not called. And yep, there we see phase shift coming out, and that is the 35% heal, as I should pull up this down. We didn't know, I should know that they did not go the shield, they instead went critical miss, so the CC that comes out from any CC that is cleansed will get healed up. Tychus actually went grenade at 1, that does help with their burst a little bit, as it does 25, 50? 10% extra damage with 50% extra range, so it adds a little bit more burst. However, we do see the armor talent being taken by them as well. Very good camp take by the side of Running Wild. This just gives it a little bit extra pressure while nothing was really lost, as this ultra is still being channeled. Karu does get a Q on it, and actually that will be Elixir going down to the Sonya as they kind of just try to decide to try run through the enemy team. Karu runs up and away from the rest of their allies. There is a phase shift off onto the Raynor, however, that will be it down now. Cassia getting flipped and stunned. Diablo getting the charge on the wall, however, that will not be them going down. There's a lot of buns being pushed here. Really only we lost this Sonya. However, because Yrel took so long down here, Sonya has already respawned and will be able to get waves. So there goes any potential macro advantage that the side of Phoenix Rising will go on. And that will be Greymane going down. Cassia does get charged on the wall, however, Vera's a wave far enough up where she's not getting hit too much. A little bit more now that it's down. However, they really want this tower, and that is actually Heroics up first for the side of Running Wild. Okay, just to run them through real quick, we see Leap from Sonya, Hyperion from Raynor, Falling Sword from Joanna, Blink Heal from Brightwing, and a Ball Lightning from Cassia. Now we see Heroics come through from the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby. We see Ardent Defender, yes, from Yrel. Apoc from Diablo. There's actually a decent burst from Greymane with Go for the Throat. We see Tychus go the Odin. And that's Joanna, very aggressive. Full-on Gritz is actually losing a lot of health. Has to use Falling Sword again out there. Still very low health on 500. It does get out without getting hit by Apoc. Cassia taking a lot of damage there. Does give a... Brightwing got the Blink Heal off, and that actually is them taking out both Greymane and the Diablo. Should mention, in a light, that extra burst heal may have been popped there. I'm not entirely sure, but it did. They were able to stay alive. Oh boy. That was a close one. Oh, I've just realized something may have occurred. I'm going to double check that. Sorry for anyone who wants to watch the game. I'll quickly move the camera down here. I'll keep trying to commentate on it. As we do see those sappers getting pushed in. Now those sappers do extra damage to buildings once they explode. And we are seeing them explode. Mr. Executive capping this bomb. Try. No one's going to be able to get to him. However, Karu does get dove on by the Diablo. It's not able to confirm much. It's just... Joanna is a bit too much peel for Diablo just to quite kill that without the wall stun being there. We see Tlems has come down. However, just being a bit guarded, they have shown now, so the LIT, the red team of Running Wild did know to kind of move away from that area. This Executive taking a decent amount of damage. However, H2O taking a lot as they were going under this tower, taking the unnecessary shots. Sonya taking this top camp during this is happening. This is just going to be a little brawl for a while, so I'm just going to show this. We just see excellent damage coming out from the Tychus, but that is because trait does a lot in a lot of instances. Into Joanna, it's especially good. Joanna has a high health tank, but does have blinds, which kind of does screw with both Mixels and Jasolo as they want those auto attacks. And actually, if I look at it, Joanna did go double blind at 1, and we will actually see the Tychus going down. Very unfortunate kill. H2O does get hit by the Cassia's Q. I can't remember what her Q is. Hey, Cassia. Her Lightning Fury. And I believe it's this button? Nope. Yes? Yes. Her Lightning Fury, but isn't enough quite to kill yet, as it is still scaling. Let's just zoom all the way out. Let's look at the double offlane here for a bit, just fighting. We do see that healing was in favor of... is in favor of Brightwing currently, but that extra burst heal just on the sustained damage seems to be doing a bit too much. It's interesting to look at this comp-wise and go, okay, what is kind of the shortcomings of the blue side comp, and this double blind from the Joanna is doing a lot. Elixir does get phase shifted on, they're back on full health. We do see full-on Grits positioning very aggressive here. They're thinking about an invade. That's the first shield glare. They will have a second one up, so may be able to stall again if they so choose to. However, I pushed entirely the wrong button. Woo! However, choose not to. These sappers are pushing up very early. We do see a bit of a rotation actually, however, Kyra was nearly caught out. That falling sword giving them unstoppable, so Diablo couldn't combo. Excellent leap from the Sonya, and that will be the first going down. We do see Arn Defender popped, and all that damage that is going out on Talems on the Yrel is getting healed back up as our Defender works. Actually, Cassia will be going down as there's no phase shift to save him, I believe, or it was interrupted. Yep, there was no phase shift to save him in that point in time. Very unfortunate. I have pushed my buttons again just to reset it, and here we are. We did see Hyperion drop top. There'll be a decent amount of extra building damage happening. However, I believe the sappers... I got a bit distracted. I don't know if the sappers went through or not. I'm so sorry I missed that. This camp being taken by this side. Oh, by Elixir at least. Good stuff. And meanwhile, Joanna and team are trying their best just to keep this up for a while. We do see Diablo coming back now, however. So this is now a 4v5 for running wild. Elixir managing to dodge that jump by Yrel. We should actually check. Yrel is not the jump reset build. She is Divine Steed. So an instant mount and can move faster. Just going to leave it here. So I'm just going to quickly check things. Show this. Here we go. We have pretty comparable siege still by... Actually, Yrel is ahead on siege damage compared to the Sonya. But however, Sonya is ahead on soak because we do see that she had gotten a couple of kills. Trying to move my buttons. She had gotten a kill and an assist. She's been a bit more present in team fights than the Yrel. We do see again this trade of the top. Oh, we do actually have a mid. Cassia gets interrupted by Jasolo. That will be Yrel getting off first. He's that instant mount to get there sooner. I wonder if Yrel will get the interrupt this time. Fallen Grits doesn't really help him out, and actually that is Cassia being dove there. Kairu is going down at the bottom stand side, but Mr. Executive keeps him up with that blink heal. We may see a fight up there. I'm going to actually focus here for now, as Sonya is trying to channel objective. There is a warning ping, I assume, from the Sonya. We do see the team of Running Wild very much playing around this fort, trying their best to stay alive. And that is just a zoning Hyperion, as per. Fallen Grits take a decent chunk of damage to start off with. Trying to get that W up, trying to make up for it. We do have Sonya just kind of lurking about. Brightwing did just phase shift back in, healing up Cairo. Elixir getting the leap onto the Greymane, however, Stukov did flailing swipes, something swipes away the dive, after the dive, as she is unstoppable during, she is not unstoppable after. This tower really has stayed up for a long time, and these are, again, extra shots, extra damage coming in onto the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby, making it much more difficult for them to fight under this. However, that will be them finally getting this, well, keep now, but, oh, no, he said fort back over as it turns into keeps in the 15-minute mark? I'd say 15. Oh dear, we do see aggressive. Mr. Executive doesn't quite dodge a wall. We see the team of red instantly turning, and actually that Brightwing died very quick. His quick deaths. His very quick deaths. And then there was that. Brightwing got shoved into a wall and died instantly. I'm going to actually have to have a look. And we do see that Diablo is actually going with those charge talents at the later levels. But this, once this is complete, he'll get minus armor, which means there is more of a blow up, as well as this just means they'll get more charges. Sorry, I'm going to mute myself for a little moment. There's cheesecake in the fridge, just defrosting, you can have it later. There is a fight breaking out, Hyperion is dropped, and there is not much happening. Kairu does their best to try and keep the sappers out from those towers, however it does not quite succeed, and that will be the next altar phase. What was that, Tim? Love you. Food beer, wraps, on the right side of the sink. We see again just this scuffle breaking out as everyone's just posturing and not wanting to fully commit to anything. Fallen Grits is getting minigunned down by Tychus, does get the stun off of him. Greymane trying their best to get that channel off, however will not be able to, as we do see all 5. That is a Diablo combo out onto Kairu. Kairu does get double stunned, and that is Raynor going down. Excellent leap, getting a 4-man stun from the Sonya, however they are still a man down at the end of the day. Cassia is actually scaling very well. They are at 104 stacks of Thunderstroke. However, that looks like it will be both of these objectives over to the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby, as they do actually have a very good late game comp. I still, again, am interested in seeing how this goes out with the double auto attack into the double blind Joanna. Or even, actually, now more I think about it, Cassia has a blind as well. If those blinds hit, there is not too much in terms of damage. Well, that's a lie, as you do have Greymane and you do have Tychus going into that grenade build? Was it full grenade? No, he's actually the overkill build. Okay. That does fix the damage structure a little bit, as it's not as counterable by the blinds anymore. Joanna getting out excellent amount of hammers. That is a stun. Double stun onto actually the Cassia. Cassia was healed up in time for the Greymane not to get there. Go for the throat off fully, and they will survive that encounter. Excellent leap, getting to two people on the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby. That will be the Stukov going down first, quickly followed up by the Greymane from the Cassia's. I can't remember what it's called anymore. Thunderstroke? Thunderbolt. Cassia, where are you? I need to click on you again. Oh, there's Joanna actually getting thrown back in. Joanna getting very low health, has to block. Drop the Iron Skin. Slams on your Eld, forces Kairu to back away from the tower, and I'm just looking again as Lightning Fury. Wasn't getting that. I was on the right track with Thunder and Lightning, very, very frightening me. As we do see a fight still breaking out just in front of the keep. We do have Fallen Grits again backing out. They're quite low, and Thunderstruck. Kairu also getting dropped relatively low. H2O to give a charge. Actually, there's a lot of damage coming out. Does get a stun charge combo onto the enemy team of Running Wild. However, that is Diablo going down first with a falling sword. And this will be Sappers into that tower. We do see Sonya now channeling this objective, and that will be 5 shots into the enemy's core. They were unable to interrupt them, and that is actually the last 5, and that will be the map over to the side of Running Wild. I'll quickly show some stats for you while I actually have to mute myself and have a quick drink. And we are back. Sorry for the lack of my normal formalities. However, we have our second map ready. As I say every time, I don't know who chose map or first pick, purely because... Sorry, let me rephrase. I don't know if Phoenix Rising chose map or first pick, purely because I don't like spoiling myself how the series go. Anyway, let us get into the game. So push this. Push this. Oh yeah, we're going to Sky Temple. Should have pointed that one out, but here we are. Anyway, on the right-hand side, we're starting running wild this time. We have Karu once again on that Raynor, Mr. Executive on Stukov, Elixir on Sonya, full on Grits on the Mei, and C10 ver HD1 on the... I nearly called it Air Muradin. That's not right, it's just Falstad. On the left-hand side of Phoenix Rising Ruby, we have Tlems on the Diva, Mixels once again on the Greymane, Jacillo on the Tychus, Dana Law on Brightwing, and H2O on the ETC. I've accidentally pushed a button, and now we're just following Greymane's camera. Whoops. Just zoom out. We do have a very aggressive stance here from H2O and Jacillo. They're probably looking to catch someone out on the rotation. May not quite pay off as they decide to immediately back off. We see Jacillo using that spray and pray, that overkill to get people down. Brightwing does give his Quenz off. I do actually like Brightwing into the Mei here. I think it's one of the better healers, especially with the cooldown reduction on the Magic Spit. I think the talent's called Magic Spit, where the cleanse will go down faster, and especially now that Brightwing does have a shorter cooldown cleanse, and that actually is Elixir being slid and just full on dove onto by the enemy team. However, they're not quite to get to Sonya, as Sonya is just a bit too quick when she uses her abilities. We do see Falstad went top early up against the Diva. I actually quite like this matchup for Falstad. If they're not choosing to stand in waves, they can actually they could try melt the Diva mech a bit quicker. However, it looks like it is a relatively even trade thus far. And we do see actually the right-hand side of Running Wild is decided to run onto this side of Phoenix Rising Ruby and try take their siege camp, as we see how spread out everyone is, especially now that Falstad has decided to come down and join the party. And we see actually a silence coming out from the Mr. Executive, and that will be the ETC going down. First Blood going over to Running Wild. When those Sea Giants will have to be dealt with actually first, just because of their positioning. They will go straight onto the fort. If they are left alone for too long, the fort will go down. I'm going to quickly pull up talents just so you can see it, even though there's fighting going. Mr. Executive getting dove on by Mixels, as we do see Mei is nowhere near the LI team. Quickly running over. The only stacking talent we see once again is on the Falstad this time with the Gathering Storm. Sonya did go block, something we don't actually see with W build normally. We normally see the extra strong W at 1. But however, we do have that block, and considering there's a heavy auto attack team, may save them in the long run. We do see Diva going nuclear option, not often picked up, and we did actually see Tychus going down in that fight there. Very unfortunate. Meanwhile, we see both Greymane and Sonya doing these top camps, and Mei soaking? Interesting. Again, there's a lot of pressure coming. This front gate has been taken out, and this is quite early to give those dates. Dates? Gates. I was trying to say gates, and my mouth just kind of forgot how consonants work. Whoops. But yeah, this is a lot of pressure that's come on very early. Brightwing, not fantastic clear for things such as Siege Giants, but it will go down. Giants? Am I actually losing my mind for like more and more I cast? I don't know. But I'm at least trying. We do see double Ultra Phase coming out to start as per Mr. Executive, getting what few shots they can, however, choosing back out. They stalled it for a little bit. Mei is actually getting a decent amount of this top, as we do still have a slight macro advantage now over to the side of Running Wild. Now this map, you don't have to actually fight if you want to win it. You could just trade out all altars or push down buildings and still get off pretty well. And we see that actually happening as this Mage camp is still pushing in. We do see everyone starting to rotate up now from this side of... Actually, no, we don't. This is a very interesting spread for this kind of defense. We're actually seeing Phoenix Rising Ruby giving up a lot of pressure to help save that building to get rid of that camp. And for that, we see just a bit too much coming from this top temple. It doesn't look like the side of... I shall close this. Oh, we're just going to follow downhill. Elixir getting dove on by H2O. It doesn't look like the side of Running Wild is really wanting to contest that, and they choose not to, which is fair enough. They have a lead. They do not need to fight. This is the map where one of the maps where you do not need a fight. And actually, we'll see a double fort trade out, and we see this front gate slowly being taken down by the Tychus. I just want to see Tychus actually goes into the minigun build this time, while Brightwing is still picking their talents up to 4 levels too late, because this was only picked up recently, I saw. Tychus backs out, very good idea, as they are low and not quite safe on that much health. I see Greymane once again trying to take this camp. I wonder if they will get invaded upon this time by the ally side. We see Mei trying to hit off the side, both Water and Brightwing early on. However, we do see the siege camp is actually taken in time for once. However, this building is taken down by the Falstad. And we already see, even from quite an early phase, that is already 2 forts down before the 5... 2 forts down for Phoenix Rising Ruby, 1 fort down for Running Wild before the 5-minute mark. They're on pace for a very quick... Well, maybe not a very quick, but still quite a quick Sky Temple. And now we see actually a 4-man push coming down, as we know Raynor is not with the ally side of Running Wild. And Running Wild will try their best to defend here. Tychus did use minigun and didn't actually quite get any value out of it because they ordered a minion and were forced to back out by that Mei. Mei seems to be being relatively patient with their snowballs and actually saving it for that Tychus minigun, as that is the main kill pressure really that will come on them, as we see they're trying to keep this quest down. In saying that, we see heroic talents coming through for both sides. We see on the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby, who were there slightly first, once we see a mosh pit, micro missiles, Odin and Go for a Throat once again picked up, as well as Brightwing hasn't picked yet. We'll get back to you on that. On the right-hand side of Running Wild, we see the Hyperion. We see Avalanche actually just hitting 2 people. We see also Gust probably going to try to keep them in here. Flaming Swipe also keeping them in there. Very nice. We see the Leap hitting both the Greymane, not the Greymane. The Greymane died to the Gust over here. We saw Leap hitting both Jasolo and H2O, and this is an excellent chase down. They're trying their best to escape. H2O does give it slide up, and Jasolo also was able to dash out of range. This is a good boss call. There is only, well, now 3 people alive on the map, but D.Va was never with them and just chosen to push down top. I'm just leaving it on here just so you can see. Brightwing still hasn't picked a 10. I don't know why. Was maybe thinking about Emerald Wind for a while, as Emerald Wind can force people off objectives and points, such as this boss or this. Bottom Shrine Mei doing their best to keep up during it while, by the way. D.Va again just pushing in this top, but not really adding too much extra fight. I should mention it's interesting ETC did go this auto attack. What we've seen more on the off-lane build. Sure, we don't see the stage dive, we see Mosh Pit instead, but this does has very good sustain into certain play styles, but we don't see them being able to push in that playstyle as a single kind of. It's kind of like a single lane sustain bruiser. It does a decent amount of damage, but does a lot of healing with that damage. Brightwing did choose Blink Heal in the end. I will now close that. But like, in saying that, this ETC is probably much better than the ETC I play. I am not the best one to judge as well. I have gone on record to say I hate playing tank. So it is what it is. We're just having a little bit of a dance between H2O and Elixir. Both bruiser camps are taken, D.Va being left alone top once again as Elixir is rotating down. Does get scouted as they are showing in that mid wave, and we do have these 2 camps pushing out. Elixir is looking very aggressive. We do see Leap up. Full on Gretz does try to zone everyone out, does use Avalanche to keep people away. There's the camp going over the side of Running Wild. Sure, Leap was used and didn't actually find anyone. It is at least a shorter cooldown in terms of heroic abilities with only a 60-second cooldown. Sure, it's nothing like Greymane's 35-second go for throat. Well, I figured Curse Bullet. That's 80 seconds go for throat. Whoops, oh well. We do see this top mage camp being cleared up by the right hand side of Running Wild. However, it's a bit late to save all of their own. D.Va doesn't quite hit off any of those micro missiles, but will back out to safety. We do see them back on cooldown thanks to her having multiple charges and not being the longest cooldown as we see there's only 10 seconds. May gets a good stun out onto Tlem's. H2O tries to harass a bit, however does not get much off. This should be a good fight, as we haven't actually seen EC use Mosh yet, so everyone should know that it's up. I just want to see how well he hits this. Unfortunately, there's quite a few interrupts he has to dodge. He has to dodge Leap, he has to dodge Flailing Swipes, I don't know what it's actually called. I think it's called that, and he's got to dodge Wind Tunnel. Those three things alone can stop him from using Mosh Pit. May also does have her Slide and her W to also her Blizzard to also interrupt it. Is it just called Icing? I think it's just called Icing. But again, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, you don't need to fight on this map. This map, you can just trade temples and win. Fallen Grits does get 2 away, however, the Tychus does a lot of the damage, but Brightwing does get the final hit onto them. Sonya immediately blacking out. Not quite what's happening to Sonya, actually. We may do, depending on her positioning, backing out to make sure she doesn't hit into too much danger. H2O goes further on the bridge. That swipes does cancel the Mosh stun to lock him down, and that will be the ETC falling to the side of Running Wild. And all of a sudden, this is looking much more even as May is on not on cooldown. May does respawn before the ETC does. Neither having Global, unfortunately. We do see that there is an ultimate advantage, heroic advantage, I should say, on the side of Phoenix Rising, but the longer they wait, the more and more that advantage will be diminished. Tlem's going down, having to drop the nuke, the D.Va Bomb. The D.Va Bomb, we did hear that nuclear option getting activated, however, did not get any value out of it. Brightwing has to use Blink to get out to safety. Will they be able to do it as Felstar does have that lightning on them? And actually that is for Stukov going down first. In the kind of focus of trying to get that D.Va down, the red team of Running Wild kind of forgot to focus on their own team's safety. Gust is used here to help save the ally May, and actually that is still May going down as only the Felstar and the Sonya get out. Again, the spot temple is still up. Boss up in 25 seconds. However, that will not quite be enough time. It may be actually. However, that is this right siege camp taken by the side of Phoenix Rising. And did they just forget this is up? No. They are being actually very patient. They're trying to see what they can get these siege giants to open up this lane. And then they'll go back to do this temple. And then they may even do boss, as we do see assist pings coming out. Elixir getting very aggressive. Good double leap, and that will be actually Mixels going down first, quickly followed by the Tychus on J Silo. What will Running Wild decide to do here? Will they just decide to do boss once again, or will they go with that temple as we do see the Brightwing going out to danger, getting out of danger? And we do see that boss call has happened. ETC standing in a very aggressive position, but even here, by himself, I don't think he could do it in time. But even here, just because of where this boss is and requires all the focus from the enemies, that he may be able to get away with this if he does it fast enough. However, it does not look like he'll be doing it fast enough and chooses to back out, at least for a little bit of safety. Sees Mr. Executive, sees full-on grits, and does decide to leave. Very wise choice. We now likely see this objective being channeled. Yep. As these shots will open up this gate and this fort, and this does actually open up for win condition of boss to core. I will zoom out a little bit for this, or zoom all the way in and then back out. We see Fastard use Fly to come in, and that boss is starting to get melted relatively quick. Greymane is a very good person, is very good at clearing things such as boss. And we do see that slowly happening. D.Va does activate her nuclear option, so that nuke will do a lot of damage to both this boss and that one siege giant. And actually that boss does help get that bot keep as well as the tower. So we do see, again, this win condition is now open for the side of Running Wild. If I can remember names, I always... Sorry? I had to sneeze, and I don't think anyone would appreciate hearing that. Unfortunately, my camera work goes to hell when that happens. Tychus does take out the false start. That is an unfortunate loss for the side of Running Wild. This camp is now much more dangerous to do. As we see the four members collapsing into this area, and it should be noted that Brightwing very likely has phase shift. Mr. Executive losing a lot of her health to that Tychus minigun does have to back out, and yep, that will be this Bruiser going over to the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby. Leap was used there, just a bit mistimed. But we do not see a full-on commit here. Brightwing just getting a side soak once again. We do see phase shift now going off onto Tychus, as Tychus did need that little bit of healing. Tychus probably needing not quite the most healing, but in terms of percent for most healing. Phoenix Rising doing their best with this momentum now, just getting this top four. Keep, as we just see it, quickly diminishing in health. There's Felstar coming up now, and we do see the side of Phoenix Rising Ruby backing out. That was unnecessarily loud. I'm sorry for anyone's ears who decide to listen either now or later. Oh, Felstar flies down, starting on the siege camp. Good, keeping up the macro pressure. I like it, as we do see 20s. The Storm Talents from Phoenix Rising Ruby will be coming on first. Fallen Grits does use icing to get out, as they were a bit spooked by the team of Phoenix Rising Ruby. To look at Phoenix Rising Ruby's Storm Talents, we do see the Hunter's Blunderbuss from Greymane, Big Red Button from Tychus, Invisible Friends from Brightwing. Diva went for Missile Upgrade of Timing Attack, and ETC is doing the popular ETC thing of holding their 20 until they see what they need, whether that be something like Storm Shield or Death Mosh, or it's not called Crowd Surfer. It's called something else, but I can't remember it. On the left-hand side, we do see that Raiders roll from the Raynor, Ignore Pain from Joe, and actually Fallen Grits does slide in first, does drop the W. We don't see any sort of combo, as we do are missing that Icefall. We do see that Tychus does actually use the Commander Odin to be able to cleanse through it. Fallen Grits taking a lot of damage there, and that is the Wind Tunnel out into the Leap combo. That is ET going down first. ETC did choose Death Mosh, so that is 3 members of the Allied Team Mosh. However, thank you to Mr. Executive's healing of the Stukov, we do not see anyone going down thanks to that physical armor, stopping a lot of both Greymane's and Tychus' attacks. I really should have zoomed in a bit further, but it's a bit late for that. Slems will be going down first. Brightwing no longer has an escape target and will be going down now. And that looks like it will be an end call from Running Wild as they run to that bottom lane. Yep, we do see Flight used out. Raynor lagging a bit behind. It's just choosing to break the mid tower and go through mid to end. Full-on Grits did take the core first, so we're unlikely to see any unfortunate casualties on the core, as we do see so often in some of these ill-timed pushes. We're getting some of those extra controlled chaos swipes from Mr. Executive, and that will be the game, and the series going over to Running Wild. Open up this screen as I push the wrong button to get there. Open up these good old talents and stats, and just let's talk about it for a bit. Again, that double auto attacker I still don't think was the best idea. Sure, both Tychus and Greymane were doing a lot of damage, albeit it was a lot of sustained damage, albeit quite high. Just it was again countered by things like the Mei with their snowball adding a blind, things like Stukov with physical armor, whether it be the 10 or the 15 physical armor. Raynor also, we do actually see pretty comparable damage from Raynor and Felstar. Felstar did go into that Mage Star build where they do try to get as many Hammerangs out as possible and getting that damage up. Well, we did see Raynor go Exterminator at 1 just with that little bit more macro sense. Okay, and just to look at this comp once again, we do think, like, I do like that what they were building there. There was actually decent blow up with the Tychus using Odin on the Mosh target, as well as Greymane having that finishing potential of go for the throat. However, it just wasn't quite fully connecting, as we did see in that Death Mosh. There were about 3 or 4 people on the side of Running Wild Mosh, however, nothing really came from it. Anyway, I'll quickly show talents and say Hello, Lich Queen. It was a GG indeed. It was a very good game. It was a very good game and a very good series by both teams. I wish I could play as well as some of these teams would. I'll do it in 2 ticks, as I'm about to finish anyway. Anyway, just showing again, saying once again, these builds, just in case anyone wants to copy them and use them for themselves. Right, I am going to click on this button, go over here, click on this, transition. There we go. He's a professional only sometimes. And as we see, it was a 2-0 to the side of Running Wild. I would like to thank both teams for a remarkable series. I don't know what to say after the game, however. I think at this point I'm trying to kind of break down comps and break down how some key fights have worked out. And that was probably the closest way to put it in the end. But anyway, as we saw Running Wild to go over 2-0, I would like to thank anyone who decided to watch this during, even if I was silent. And to anyone who watches this later, I also thank you for watching. Anyway, that will be it from me. Talents are hard, and so is all that. That will be all from me for the night. And to everyone else, I wish you a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are. And I will see you all in the Nexus.